One of our important mantras was every school needs to improve, and we did not say we're going to concentrate on the bottom 10% or the bottom 15%. Every district and every school must be involved in improvement, no matter what your current status is. And then, because we knew there were big achievement gaps in Ontario among particular groups, we set out to do things particular to those. So, for example, we have a big English language learning community in Ontario. And so we developed an English language learner strategy because it turned out that there was no consistency in practice in how we dealt with non-English speaking students or non-French speaking students across the province at all. So that had to be built, new policies had to be put in place, teachers had to be trained to do that.
Semester 1 he has period 1 off, he has art period 2, he is good at strings, his music mark is good, so he will also get a credit after school. And I don't think he has the language skills, he speaks quite well.
Well, as soon as I heard anything about student success, I was really excited and interested in it as a ministry objective or an initiative. And I was excited about it because anything that was about students and connected to success they were speaking my language. And I am thrilled by what it stands for, which is supporting every student and ensuring that every student has multiple opportunities to be successful.
Would a support for him be, there's going to be a new drama class created, and it's going to be a 9-10 split drama. That might be a good place for him to be able to acquire some language.
Semester 1 he has period 1 off, he has art period 2, he is good at strings, his music mark is good. A lot of our students come with enough credits that they would not be identified through government statistics. They have been successful in their own country. And what happens is they're not successful here with the transition to English. And so they fall behind, and we have to find a way to make sure that they don't, that they can continue with the success they've had at school. So are you going to join our sports teams? That's good. And what's your favorite sport?
Track and field.
Oh, track and field. Oh yeah, we have a great track and field. But that's not till the spring. Are you going to play something in between? Okay. So we're not going to put another science into second semester. This one is going to not work out for you because we're changing the level here.
Okay.
Okay? So we'll put something else. So that's what we'll have to find. Okay, what changes would you like to make?
There are countless ways we can support learners in the school and in every school, really through a student success lens. Generally, the entire school staff needs to be involved. This is a collaborative effort. Although one person has the time dedicated towards making sure it all comes together, really it is a full school initiative. And some of the ways we do this at Unionville is really through staff meetings, is a large group meetings where we all have involvement with hard-to-serve students or at-risk students.
So she had a good semester last year. English, we continue to try at the academic level because Mom would like her to continue. She is floundering right now. She's already found me, and I worked last period with her. The 3U is very difficult for her. She doesn't understand what is being asked of her. We have weekly meetings. It brings our team together, and it allows us to track the students that we are watching, and it's made up of members from guidance, special ed, alternative ed, our literacy teachers, our administration. We all sit in that meeting, and we are able to review the students that don't seem to be successful.
In order to graduate, you have to have 18 compulsory credits, and then you have to have another 12 elective credits, according to the report card that you brought from Hong Kong, that you didn't get enough credits. Okay.
Some students come across the table, they're failing all 4 subjects. They don't have money for a transit pass. They're living with no parents in the country. The parents might be living in China. And that team will network everything from the cultural settlement worker to the administrator to, say, an alt-ed teacher to make connections and set up that program for success. That's the best example of a student success team, is looking at the child and looking holistically how we can support them.
And she's going to school. It's funny, they say I actually felt awake. So maybe this was something new to me. Mornings look a lot better after 9 hours of sleep. So she actually stayed in the evening. Okay. The one-on-one that's needed for some kids to be successful can't be done when you have another job happening. You can't sit and take the time to read with a student, to oversee projects when students don't understand projects. It's difficult because you've got your other workload. So this position is created so that we simply are able to fulfill more of what a student needs. And they really need that extra time.
We need to really turn our thinking around about our students that come into ELL and are new to Canada, and look at this as an assets-based student walking into our school. What are they bringing in from a country around the world that we don't provide them or haven't had an opportunity to provide them? And how can we be their champion and support them as a learner and take it from there? So in an ideal situation, we look at something that's going to make them feel good about themselves on that timetable, and then really work with the language, and then combine them and find excellent teachers in conjunction with the student success team to support their learning.
In the 5 or 6 years that we've been working at this, the performance gap for our new English language learners in this province has been closed by about half of that gap. The line on any of the graphs that shows the performance of our new English language learners is a much steeper improvement piece and evidence of improvement than the general population. And that's absolutely critical in a province where up to 40% of our children are in fact coming from places outside of our province.
Now, I like to tell the story of going to visit one of our turnaround schools. This would have been in 2005 or 2006. This is a school that had 18% of their kids performing at the standard, and 3 years later we're at 71%. So pretty significant improvement. And what those teachers said is, any school could do this because there's nothing exceptional about us, and we will never go back to teaching the way we used to teach. That's sustainability. That's the sustainability of improvement, because those teachers absolutely believed, and quite rightly, that the way they were working now was vastly superior to the way they used to work. More satisfying for them, better for their kids. So that's why it's so important to have an approach that is not punitive and negative, but that is positive and enhances professionalism. Because when your principals, when your teachers, when your students, when your parents see the difference and believe in it, then they will keep doing it.